This is the number one piece of advice that I would give to a young goalkeeper like you that I wish I knew when I was your age. But before I get into it, if you're new here, my name is Andrew Pandenberg. I'm a professional goalkeeper for Carolina Core FC and MLS Next Pro. It's my mission to help young goalkeepers like you develop supreme confidence and dominate on game day. If you get any value from this video, like, subscribe, share with a goalkeeper friend. The bigger we build this community, it'll be a win-win for both of us. Back when I was in high school, I didn't really know much about the idea of goal setting. I had dreams and aspirations, but I didn't really know how to put those practically to use. I remember hearing things about vision boards and putting up pictures on your wall and writing your goals down, but I didn't really know to the extent of what goals I could set for myself. I remember always growing up watching the World Cup, and that was always a dream of mine to play in a World Cup and win a World Cup. And I remember printing out a picture of the World Cup, but being afraid to put it on my wall. I didn't know if I was even allowed to do that because it just seemed like such a big dream. And I remember back when I was a freshman in high school around that same time, my team went to a showcase down in Florida back when there was the developmental academy system. All the teams of the country twice a year would go to these showcases where everyone would play each other, and there would also be some other events going on at the same time. And while we were down there playing our showcase games, one night there was the final of the Nike International Friendlies, which was basically they took the U17 national teams of 4 countries. I think that year it was the US, England, Brazil, and Portugal. And the final game was one of the nights while we were there, and it was the US versus Brazil. And so we ended up as a team going to that game. And I remember watching that game and just being super mesmerized by the players and by just everything that I saw. The US ended up winning, I think 3-1. This was a team that was comprised of guys like Christian Pulisic, Haji Wright, Tyler Adams, probably some other big names in there, but those are probably the 3 biggest. But I just remember them playing extremely well. I remember seeing them celebrate on the field afterwards. I remember sitting in the stands of that game, and I don't even know how it came into my mind, but I told myself, I'm going to be playing on that field. That field was the stadium field for the complex we were playing in. We were playing on all the side fields, but this was the main stadium field with the stands and all that. And I remember vowing to myself before I left that game with my team, and I remember telling myself, I'm going to be playing on this field. And I didn't even know really what that meant. But I remember seeing those guys play so well and do that. And I just knew that it was a dream of mine to be on the national team and be a part of that. But I just remember saying in my mind, I'm going to be playing on that field. And so I go on. That was my freshman year. I remember training, working hard, playing games. And a year later, my sophomore year of high school, we were going to that same showcase in the same location, same complex, all that. And right before we left, one of my coaches pulled me aside at practice and told me, hey, you've actually been invited to play in the Academy Select game this year, which was basically they took the best players of the country, of the whole academy system, and brought them together to play one game at the showcase. So I was going to miss out on one of my team's games just so I could play in this game. And he told me it was going to be on that stadium field. So a year later, after vowing to myself that I'm going to play a game on that field, I was playing in the Academy Select game. So we went down, played that game. I did really well. I ended up coming home, and a couple weeks later, I get an email, and it's from US Soccer. And it was an invitation to go and train with the U17 national team, those same guys that I watched just a year before. And it was an invitation to come down. They lived at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. So it was an invitation to go down there and train with them for like a trial for a week or 2. And I remember going down there, training with them, working really hard, doing well. It ultimately didn't work out to stay longer or get invited to be a part of the program. But I remember coming back, and although it didn't work out completely the way that I wanted, I just remember getting home and just reflecting on everything that happened the past month or 2 between the select game and then being invited and training with the U17 national team. And I remember thinking, man, it is so powerful that just a year ago, I had this dream, I had this thought in my mind of doing something, and just being able to see it all come to fruition right in front of me. So the biggest piece of advice that I want to give to you right now, going off all that, is to set your goals and set your dreams as high as you possibly can. When I was in the stands watching that game, I had no business believing that I was going to play in that stadium for some reason. I had no business believing that I was going to get an opportunity with the U17 national team. I had no idea that that was even possible or that that path even existed. But I just remember having that dream and having that desire in front of me and setting that intention in my mind and in my heart and putting one foot in front of the other. And eventually it came to fruition. I truly believe that in life and in our soccer careers, the biggest regret that you're going to have when it's all said and done is not that you set your goals too high and you didn't reach them. It's going to be that you actually set them too low and you hit them and you regret and you wish, man, I wish I would have set them higher. I wish I would have believed in what is possible. I think it's funny that sometimes as humans, I think we think we know everything and we know what's possible, but at the end of the day, we have no idea what's possible. We have no idea what we are capable of. We have incredible powers within us that I feel like we can't even begin to understand. But you look at some of the greatest people of all time who have achieved incredible things that we look up to, and they come from circumstances that the odds of them reaching some of those goals were so slim. But at the end of the day, they did it. And I go back to me and my situation growing up. I played for a non-MLS academy club, a smaller club, Charlotte Soccer Academy. Like I said, I had no business believing that I could have played on that field, could have played in that game, but it happened. I had dreamed of when I was little playing for a school like Wake Forest, being in the stands, watching the games when I was like 7, 8 years old, and ended up playing there and making a ton of my dreams come true there. But again, I had no business thinking and believing that was possible. Just again, with the club that I played for, Wake is a school where it's mostly MLS Academy guys or guys from overseas who end up going there. But I was able to have that dream and make it come true. And now even just as a professional, I'm living out my dreams on a daily basis and meeting people and having experiences that I only dreamed of just a couple years ago when I was younger. So I think this all goes to show that I think sometimes when we want to set these goals and we have these dreams, we look to where we're at right now and we use that as a metric to set what our goals are. As in, oh man, well, I only play for this team right now, so that means that I'm only capable of achieving this, or I should only set my goals this high. But at the end of the day, your current circumstances have nothing to do with what is possible for you in your life. The only things that are going to determine where you go are your mindset and the habits that you have on a daily basis. So I just wish someone would have told me this back when I was younger. Again, I think this world is incredible and there is so much out there for us to achieve, especially nowadays, just with the power of technology and how we're able to learn so much and be able to connect with different people. There is so much that's possible for you in your life. And I wish someone would have told me when I was younger that it was okay for me to put a picture of a World Cup trophy on my wall, to put a picture of a Premier League trophy or whatever it is, whatever that I really wanted. And I just want to be the one to tell you today that, hey, it's okay to dream that big. And those dreams are possible too. I know they might seem super far-fetched or out there sometimes, but you have to just take my word for it and believe that those things are true. One of my favorite quotes, it's from a motivational speaker, Les Brown. He says, if the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter. So today I want you to take some time and think about what is it that you truly want? What are those dreams that you have for your life, for your career that you really, really want and also seem a little bit scary? I feel like you need to dream to the point where it's almost kind of out there for your mind and you're like, whoa, that's out there. That's a little scary, but that's something that I really want. So take some time today. I challenge you to do that. Dream as big as possible what you want for your life, for your career, and find a way to consistently remind yourself of those dreams. So put the pictures on your wall, write them down every single day of what your goals are. And trust me, if you are putting the work in on a daily basis, you're putting one foot in front of the other every single day, there's no limit to the success that you can have for your life and your career. So please trust me. Like I said, I've been able to create some amazing results in my life, to make some dreams come true that from where I was at, I really, again, like I said, I had no business to setting those goals. I had no reason to believe that they were possible, but something in my heart and my mind told me that they were, and there were things that I really wanted. And at the end of the day, if you have that hunger, you have that desire in you, you can find a way to make them happen. So right now, like I said, take some time, come up with what those dreams and goals are for you, set them as high as possible. Don't let the opinions or the people around you tell you what's possible for you. Only you know what's possible in your heart for yourself. Only God knows what's possible for you. Continue to dream. Continue to put the work in on a daily basis so that these dreams can come true. Continue to invest in yourself. And yeah, man, please dream as big as possible. Because like I said, this world is incredible. The limits for you in your life, if you're willing to work and put the work in on a daily basis, there are no limits for your life. So allow yourself to dream, to see those dreams, believe in those dreams, and watch what happens when you do. So I hope you get some value from this video, some inspiration of just some good things that have happened for me because of my ability to dream and ability to believe in the dreams that I've had in my heart. And yeah, man, let's just keep working, keep believing, keep dreaming, and we'll talk soon.